Hey, what's the deal, y'all? It's your boy Big Star, Raw Sports. Thank y'all for joining me for another classic episode of Legends Week. Tonight's guest is a very special guest, man. Got my man, Coach Nate Blackwell. He played at South Philadelphia High School in Philly. Um, he was, if I'm not mistaken, through my research that I did, he was one of Coach John Chaney's first recruits at Temple, which is legendary. He went on to become, one of, Coach John Chaney's first Temple stars at Temple. He's in Temple's Hall of Fame. I believe he ended his career with like 1,700 points at Temple. Tons more accolades. I'll let him get into all that. He was drafted into the NBA, I believe, in the 1980 something, 85 NBA draft to the San Antonio Spurs, and he also played with, I believe, the Golden State Warriors. An amazing journey, an amazing guy. He's coached basketball. He's been all over the world, and his story is definitely a testimony. Definitely one that we can all learn from. From glory to the adversity. And he's still standing right now, man. He's going to get on tonight with us and tell us his story, man. Just wanted to get on like a few seconds early, just to few announcements. Oh, we got Coach here. Here we go. We're gonna get right to it. The legend is back.
I'm back, baby.
How you doing? Let me get my camera adjusted here. We're gonna have some fun, man. You good? Can you see me? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I see you and hear you clear. How about me? You all right?
We're perfect. I mean, your high definition quality, your sound is great. Before I get into it, just want to let everybody know tonight's show is sponsored by Raw Sports Apparel. I got the fresh hoodies. I got the black hoodie on deck and the gray hoodie. I'll be, giving out some more information about that. I was supposed to release them on my online store tonight, but I was just juggling so many things. But I'll put out some information about that later. But without further ado, my guest tonight on Legends Week is none other than Coach Nate Blackwell. I'm not even going to go into, kind of trying to read your resume and do the whole speech thing because I have so much ground I want to cover with you tonight, Coach. But I just want to start out by saying, I know, here in 2020, with everything going on in the world, time is precious. Time is precious. Time is very valuable. Tomorrow's not promised. So I thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for, giving us, carving out some time, in your life to be transparent and to share your story. I appreciate it. Two goals that I have here on this Legends Week platform, Coach. The number one thing is this is just my way of saying thank you so much for what you've given to the culture, to the hoop culture, what you've given to the game of basketball, all the memories that you've given people from like the summer league days in Philly and Temple and pro and just everything that you've done for the game of basketball, all the mentoring that you've done, all that kind of stuff, Coach. Just want to say thank you, and individuals like myself, I will never forget your contribution. So I just want to pay homage to you, Coach. And also, it's a lot of current, young athletes that I deal with, young basketball players that are coming up, filling their way in high school and all that kind of stuff now. And they're trying to get to some of the places and trying to accomplish some of the same things that you did. So this serves as a form of education for the young players that are going to, listen to your story tonight, be able to learn, from some of the things, be able to, pick up some of the gems and jewels that you're going to provide. And just hearing your story and hearing your testimony, Coach, is definitely going to be a blessing to us tonight, man. So thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate you, man.
I would just want to, first of all, let me say, I want one of them sweatshirts if I can get one.
Already know, Coach. Just send me your size, and I got you covered, Coach. I got T-shirts. I got everything. I got you covered, Coach.
Hey,
After this,
hey
just tell
man,
me your
listen,
size.
yeah,
I got you covered.
I want to support you. You know what I mean? I'm a 2X, man. Get it on out. Everything you can do, all right?
Say less.
I'm going to give you the address and everything later.
Say no
But
more. I
I
got
want
you,
to
Coach.
also say, I seen that my children, a couple of my children have joined, and I want to say hi to them. My
No
son,
doubt.
Nate Blackwell Jr., he's
No
on
doubt.
here.
Shout out
My
to Lil
oldest
Nate.
daughter, Mia,
Shout out to
she's
Mia.
here. And I believe my oldest granddaughter, I think I just saw her on there also.
No
So I
doubt.
want to say hi to them. My other daughter, Jessica, who's not on, and, all my grandkids. I love y'all, and let's whatever you want me to do from here, I'm with you, baby.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. Hey, well, just want to let you know the format. We're gonna play a quick game, something to kind of get us warmed up. I call it 10 random questions. I'm gonna just shoot 10 random things at you, just to kind of get you warmed up. You see you're 100% a professional. I know you've done millions of interviews, but just want to warm you up in the way that I know how. And also, just want to let the viewers know, for everyone who stays with us throughout the duration of the broadcast, we'll have a nice little Q&A at the end. So if there's anybody at the end who has any questions for you, Coach, on any things that we didn't cover during the interview, I'll just let the people ask a few questions if that's okay.
No problem at all. No problem at all. I'm an open book, man.
All right. So here we go. 10 random questions before we get to the story. Coming up in the late 70s, 80s, and all that kind of stuff. Who was a local player in Philly that you admired basketball wise?
Well, I actually had several. It was a guy named Clarence Tillman who played at West Philly High and then went on to play at Kentucky and Rutgers. He's from South Philly, so he was a big influence. A guy named Marty Campbell he was a left-handed legend in South Philly, and I'm left-handed. I used to watch him play as a little kid, and every time he scored, they go, good, because his name was Campbell,
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that was big for me. Yes. He was like my local hero. And then, of course, it was Mo Howard. Mo Howard was like
the OG, the legend, my guy, Mo
absolutely,
Howard.
Man. I can honestly remember sitting in the house as a kid, maybe about 10, and Maryland was playing UCLA at the time, and my dad pointed him out, said, "See that guy right there? He's from Philly." And it was like, wow, like a guy from Philly is actually on TV playing basketball, and I was like, I want to do that.
No doubt.
I want to do that.
No doubt.
And so then I ended up, of course, becoming a better basketball player. I was able to meet him, and he really took to me. And we became absolutely great friends, like brothers. He's like my older brother. And, he had some of the issues I had also. So he's advised me on all kinds of things. Yep. So he was a big influence in my life,
No
so,
doubt.
And then I was just a basketball junkie, to be honest.
For sure.
I wasn't physically as skilled as some people. I didn't jump high. I didn't run fast. So I knew my skill had to be better than most people to get to where I got. And so, I just became I practiced every day, man. It wasn't a day that I didn't have a basketball in my hand. I probably was, you can say it would be raw, I was a pain in the ass to everybody around me. Because I always had a basketball, bouncing it, my mom cursing me out, grandma cussing me out. When I couldn't play with the ball, I had a sock, I balled it up, made a wire hoop in the room, me and my brother.
That's right.
And my brother was actually a pretty good ball player too. His name's Anthony Blackwell.
Okay.
And yeah, I wanted to pay homage to him, let him know. I'm talking about
Shout out to
too.
Ant Blackwell.
So he went on to play some Division III ball, but yeah, he was a big influence on me because we played every day against each other. He's only 1 year younger than me, so when I couldn't find nobody else to play, I made him play.
I know that's right. Second question. Some of your favorite, and not necessarily like greatest of all time or top 10, nothing like that. A few of your personal favorite. Of all time, through every era, even up until like the 90s, 2000s, South Philly ballers, guys that either played at Southern or just guys from South Philly. Some of your favorite South Philly ballers besides yourself.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, to me, the best player ever come out of South Philly is probably except Will Chamberlain, because Will Chamberlain actually from South Philly, but people don't know that.
Okay.
But he didn't play in South Philly, but he was from South Philly. Lionel Simmons. Lionel Simmons is like my young guy. We was in high school together, and I just watched him mature and turn into a great basketball player. Then you got Kareem Towns, who also was a phenomenal scorer, probably the best scorer of all of us that came through there.
Wow.
He could just flat out score. He just made it look easy.
Yeah.
And that's just a few. It's of course I'm missing some people. But those are the names that
appreciate it.
Those are the names that come up real fast.
Yep. Did you have a basketball nickname? I see one of your mentors had the good, and what I'm saying, or did you have a basketball nickname? What did they call you? What did some people call you?
Well, first of all, my real nickname is Day Day, which everybody called me in the streets.
Gotcha.
When I played basketball, I was Iceman.
Iceman,
because I was skinny like George Gervin.
Gotcha.
So I've been I walk down the street to the day, is people still walk up and say, "What's up, Ice?"
No
you know,
doubt.
so
No
that
doubt.
that name really stuck. You know, and funny story is when I got to San Antonio, I met George for the first time, and I told him, "Hey, George," I say, "George, they call me Iceman. I'm the Iceman from South Philly." He said, "Well, from around here, you're gonna be ice cream because there's only one real Iceman."
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. The exclusives is coming already. We only 9 minutes into the broadcast. Oh, that's exclusive. If anyone doesn't know, he's talking about Iceman George Gervin, San Antonio Spurs, super smooth. That's a classic story right there. I appreciate that, Ice.
Yeah, that's my guy.
And you guys, real quick, I don't mean to veer off, but y'all played together. Y'all were there together at San Antonio?
No, he was coaching.
Oh, no.
When I got there, he was an assistant coach.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he had retired, was assistant coach.
Gotcha.
So we used to play horse. We used to play horse every day. Me, him, and a guy, I can't even remember his name. Ed. He's got a guy named Ed. I can't think of his last name. But anyway, we was all we was great shooters.
Yeah.
And we would play horse every day. And I would beat George.
Wow.
And George would get mad, right? And when he got mad, he would say stuff like, "Every shot I shoot is going to hit nothing but net. If it touched the rim, it's no good."
Oh,
and he beat us.
He was that competitive.
He was that good, man. When he locked in, it was nobody better.
Still, that's crazy. What's the most points you ever scored in a game at any level? Summer league, high school, pro, college, anything?
Well, the Baker League Finals, we played Pooh Richardson and them, and I scored 63 in the championship game.
No doubt.
He scored 60-something too, so it was really like a crazy battle.
Yeah.
But we ended up winning the game, and it was like triple overtime. It was a phenomenal game. Then, as I got old, I was playing they had a really competitive league down at 25th and Diamond, which featured nothing but the mega talent in this city. Pros, college guys, street legends. And I scored 63 in a game down there where I hit 18 threes.
Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
They told me I hit 10 in a row at one time. I couldn't even remember. I was that focused.
In the zone.
But they told me I hit 10 in a row at one point.
In the zone. That's crazy. What are some other sports, couple other sports you may have played besides basketball growing up?
Nothing.
You were only a hooper, only a baller. That's it.
Nothing.
Wow.
Hey, man, listen. Everything I did was about basketball. I actually ran a little cross country.
Okay. But
that was just to get in shape for basketball.
Gotcha. So basketball, you was a hoop junkie at heart. That was your thing.
Right. Now in the streets, of course, I played pickup football.
Yeah.
Pick up baseball. I played all the sports. I did a little bit of everything. But as far as organized, the only thing I ever did was basketball. Gotcha. I was a master of one. I wasn't a jack of all trades.
No doubt. In late 70s, early 80s, who was you listening to? What musical groups or bands or artists was you listening to? Rap, R&B, anything, soul music?
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, towards the middle 70s into the 80s, it was like Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelics and all that. And then at the late 70s, early 80s, that's when rap came out. And, I was a Grandmaster Flash and, all them cats,
Got you.
I was a rap guy. I was definitely a rap guy.
No doubt. Favorite cartoon growing up?
Oh, man. That would probably be the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, no doubt. And the Wile E. Coyote.
That was my joint, man.
No doubt.
Wile E. Coyote.
That's right. It's a good question. In the late 70s, early 80s and all that, you seem like a fresh guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you was, fresh to death all your life. When you wanted to get fresh back then, where would you go shopping? What spots would you hit up to get your sneakers, to get your gear fresh and all that?
Man, I was a big time dresser at that time.
I'm sure.
I had my best friend in the world was a guy named Antonio Harris, who was a phenomenal dresser, and he basically dressed me.
Okay,
you know what I mean? I followed him, man. And we went everywhere. It wasn't one particular store. It was whatever was funky fresh at the time. We went and got it. And he was like I said, he was the guy who was the real dresser. and I just followed his play.
Gotcha.
You know?
So what was something that you had to have or that you had in your repertoire back then that if you pulled that out, everybody was like, oh man, look at Ice. He wearing that, whether it was a shoe or a pants or a certain jacket.
Shoes. I had all the shoes. I had from the time they came out with any type of skin, I had it. You know what I mean? When it first came out, it was lizards. Then it went to, you couldn't afford the real shit. Then I went up to, when I got to crocodile, alligators, I had all of that. I had a closet. At one point, I checked my closet. I think I had 13 different types of skins in my door. From ostrich to lizards and my wife used to go out. She used to go to Boyd's and get them for me. And that was my gift. Like she would surprise me with brand new pair of lizards.
No doubt. This is a deep question. I was just doing some research and just I'm a fan of documentaries and all that kind of stuff. The date May 13th, 1985 is significant for Philadelphia. Philadelphia history. That was the date of the move bombing. And I cross-reference, you were at Temple at that time in 1985. You was at Temple, a freshman or sophomore at Temple?
Sophomore, yeah.
Got you. So around that time, during the move bombing, what was that experience like for you? And where were you at the time when all that was going on? I know what it was like for me. I watched it. I remember watching it on Channel 6 News. I grew up in Norristown. I remember watching it on news live as a kid. What was that like for you, man? And where were you at the time?
Well, it was shocking, a tragedy. Of course, especially the Black community, we was very upset about what happened. But to be honest, at the time, by me being at Temple, when you in college, it's almost like you in another world.
Yeah, almost what I mean? In a bubble or something. Yeah. Yeah,
that's exactly what you are. You're in like a different world. So I didn't get the full effect of what I probably would have got had I been home.
In the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Got you.
Right, because I had so many other things to worry about. I'm worried about classes. I'm worried about basketball, being in shape. Girls. I had girls. I had girls everywhere. It was. I had a lot of stuff going on, but it definitely affected me. I remember it, like you said, to the day. I can remember where I was at when it happened. I remember sitting in my dorm room watching the TV and saw it. Like you said, I watched it, and it was unbelievable because I'd never seen anything like that before.
Lastly, growing up in the 80s, everybody, I mean, I don't care if you was on another planet or in Antarctica, everybody was watching wrestling back then. Who was one of your favorite wrestlers coming up in the 80s?
I would have to say probably Hulk Hogan, those type of guys. Because, I wasn't as big as a wrestler guy. Okay. I wasn't into the little guys in tights, but
no doubt.
But like you said, everybody knew about it. Everybody watched it, and I watched it a little bit.
Coming from the Mecca, Philly being the Mecca of boxing, who one of your favorite boxers back in the 80s? You know what I'm saying? Back in the heyday.
Wow, man! Wow. We had a guy locally. I don't know if you ever might not remember. His name was Tyrone Everett. Tyrone Everett was like a phenomenal, I can't even remember what his weight was, but he was undefeated, phenomenal boxer. He fought for the championship down here at the Spectrum. Beat the guy terribly. I think it was Wolf Benitez. He beat him up so bad, but they robbed him of the decision.
Wow.
So he ended up losing the decision. Wow. And then he ended up getting tragically murdered about 6 or 7 months later. But he was the hero around here. Philly, he was the big time guy.
Got you. Hey, well, I appreciate the warm up, man. We're gonna get right to your story, man. Like I tell all the guests that come on the show, I don't want to get in your way of you telling your story. So I'm just give you the freedom just to talk. And I'll interject, as needed, with any questions or curiosities. So just start us off, man, at the very beginning, and just let us know where the Nate Blackwell story begins, and we'll just start there.
Well, as far as basketball goes, my story began on the crates. Couldn't get on the court, so what we did was we used to take a crate, knock the bottom of it out, nail it to the pole, and we play all day long. Like I said, I got on all my neighbors' nerves. They used to curse me out because I'd be out there until my mom told me I had to come in playing ball. Basketball was my refuge to everything, was my answer to everything. I stayed on the court. I probably stayed on the court so much that put it to the point to where if you wanted to find me, you know where to come look.
Yeah.
I wasn't hard to find. You know, I was fortunate enough to have four really great friends that was really good ball players also. And we all played for my high school. But that's rare that you have your actual, like your best friends actually be your teammates in high school. So, you know, just giving them a shout out. One was Leonard Mutchison. I had Chili Will. I had Vance Roan, who was named Jazzy, nicknamed Jazzy, and my friend Tone Harris, who I talked about, who helped me dress.
Gotcha.
The four of them and plus myself, we just played all day long. And we was perfect. We was perfect in what we had because Leonard was a point guard, I was a 2, Chili was a 3, Tone was the 4, Jazz was the 5. So we ain't getting each other's way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we would go everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. We go when I say everywhere, I mean literally everywhere. North Philly, West Philly, and we just play. Go to schoolyard. That's where they playing. We got 5. We next.
Yep.
And you know, that's how I made my name. You know, my name grew from me being able to say, I played everywhere in this city, and I gave out work wherever I played. You know, by the time we leaving, I had people saying, "Man, what's your name?
Yeah.
What grade you in?"
Yeah.
You know, so you know, but I was fortunate. Like I said, I had friends that played ball all day long, so nothing really got in my way of playing. You know, so basketball became everything to me. You know, at Southern, you know, I was fortunate enough to play a little bit more than everybody else, you know, which led me being able to get the scholarship at Temple. I became a South Philly basketball Hall of Famer. I was the youngest person ever inducted in their Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Went to Temple. You know, Temple. From the time I got to Temple, all we did was win. You know, I never had a losing season. My worst record at Temple is 25-6.
Wow.
Yeah. We was phenomenal doing it. I call it the golden age at Temple because my worst record was 25-6. My best was 32-4.
Wow.
So you know, we did nothing but win, and you know, I ended up being a Hall of Famer for them. I was recently put into the Ring of Honor. If you go in the Leah Core Center, there's a big flag up there that say Nate Blackwell on it.
Wow.
Which is
congratulations, man. That's a
tremendous honor.
Honor, man.
Tremendous honor,
yes. Man.
Yep. So, you know, from there I went to the NBA. Things didn't work out the one. I played a little bit of San Antonio, played a little bit of Golden State. And once I got cut, I said to myself, you know, I ain't going to fight this. I'm just going to coach.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I came back. I probably was one of the youngest coaches ever. Okay. I started coaching at 25.
Wow, that is young. That is young.
My first coach.
Did you at the college level, or I'm sorry, go ahead.
At the college level, Temple.
Okay. Wow.
I came in. I was assistant coach at Temple at 25.
Wow.
And I coached there for a couple of years. Then, because I wanted to get more experience, I left and went to Coppin State.
Okay.
Where I coached there for 4 years as an assistant. Then I came back to Temple, and you know that's what people remember. The end of it, I coached my last 8 years with Temple.
Gotcha.
And you know, me and John did some tremendous things. And
you
know, of course, you know, I don't skip nothing. You know, I had my battle with my demons. You know, I got into some drug usage, and it overwhelmed me. I ended up losing that job at Temple, and I went on to become a drug counselor.
Okay.
And yeah, I did that for like almost 8-9 years. You know,
wow,
several different places.
Man.
So
that's a blessing.
Yeah, you know, I tell my story, and you know, I want people to understand that you know, everything is not glory. You know, and even when you reach the glory, you still got to fight to keep it.
Yeah.
Because people are always trying to rob that from you. You know,
yes.
whether they mean to or not. Because some people have good intentions, but they doing bad things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was one of those things. I blame nobody for my mistakes. You know, I made my mistakes. I wear it on my chest. You know, all my scars are in front of me because I face them. You know, my scars ain't on my back. My scars is on my face and on my chest because I wear them. I face them, you know. And, you know, life has things in store for you. And God must have wanted me to be in this position to be able to tell this story. And that's how I look at it.
No doubt. Going back, So each of the things that you talked about, I want to slow it down a little bit and just kind of take it, piece by piece. Everything that you just mentioned, I want to go back to it and just kind of, step by step, just kind of, piece the puzzle together for it.
I'm just reading some of the reading some of the comments.
Shout out all the people. Shout out all the people.
Yeah. Somebody just said we love you, big bro, and that just make me feel good.
I'm gonna pin that at the bottom of the screen for you. It's a lot of love in here for you, man. People got a lot of love for Ice, man.
There you go.
Describe for the people that remember you playing, and for this younger generation that didn't get a chance to see you play. Describe your game. In your prime, in the best shape of your life. What type of game did you have? What did the coaches appreciate about you? What were your strengths? What you do on the court?
Let's start with the number one thing I did probably better than anybody else is win. I won.
Basically,
I won.
Basically,
I won. Like I said, people had more talent than me, but I was smart.
Yeah,
I was smart. I knew how to play this game. I knew how to make other people play the game, which is really important.
Okay.
I could motivate my teammates around me. I knew what to give them and what not to give them. At Temple, I could holler at Tim Perry.
Yeah.
To get him going.
Yeah.
But I couldn't holler at Ramon Rivas.
Okay.
Because he took it a different way.
Okay.
So I might have to go to Ramon and pat him on the shoulder. Come on, big fella, I need you.
Yeah.
Whereas Tim, I'd be like, man, what the hell are you doing?
Got you. So, I mean, how did you learn that? I mean, that's almost like being a counselor, like being in tune to the people around you, being in tune to your team, and knowing what motivates or what turns off each individual, the triggers. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to another legend. Shout out to Marv O'Connor. We got Marv in the building. That's Street Bangers.
Hey, Marv. What's up, young buck?
That's right.
That's my young buck there.
That's right. That's my guy right there. So, how did you develop that skill to be able to, be in tune with everybody like that on the court?
Well, I had, like I said, the first thing and the most important thing I learned about myself was that I needed help to win.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I said, I just didn't overwhelm you with my talent. I needed help to win. So I knew early on that I had to make the guys around me better.
Gotcha.
To help me become better. And I had phenomenal coaching throughout my life. My high school coach, rest his soul, God bless him. He just passed. His name was Coach Snyder. Coach Snyder taught me the fundamentals of the game, how to be smart. He the first person that told me, Nate, you're not going to be dunking on people. So you got to learn. You got to learn to do some other things. You know what I mean? So that also, I had in the Sunny Hill League, I had Claude Gross, T. Shields. They taught me basketball.
Gotcha.
They taught me how to win.
I heard a lot of stories about Claude.
Absolutely.
Tons of stories.
They taught me how to win. So you add the smartness with learning how to win. That was overwhelmingly great coaching at that time. And then the creme to the creme is when I came to Temple. I had the master.
No doubt.
And the master could do everything. When I talk about the master, I'm talking about the one and only John Chaney, the legend. Everything that they say about him, he was. He was the father figure, great guy. When I went through my tragedy, this is the one guy who stayed with me the whole time. No matter what people were saying, what was being said, my guy had my back.
No doubt.
And, I love him to death today for that. I also want to shout out my assistant coach, Jay Norman, who is battling with this coronavirus right now.
Oh, man.
Prayers I wish you speedy recovery, coach. And I love you, and I hope that you pull through this fine.
That's right.
I had great coaching, man. And my greatest thing was I won basketball games. I won at high levels. I won at the low levels. There's not a league in this city that I didn't win a championship in. You know what I mean? No matter what it was, where it was.
Yeah.
I won championships, man.
No doubt.
That's what I did. When I walked away, they'd be like, who got the trophy? We do.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. We ain't coming for nothing less, man.
Nothing less, man.
What else is we here for? What else is we here for, Ice? What else?
I'm telling you, man, listen. And that's what I did, man. I won all the time.
Hey, speaking of winning, let's go through. Take me through your high school career at South Philly. Now I want to hear the stories, like from some of your biggest games, rivals, some of the toughest players you played against, most memorable experiences at South Philly High. Take me through the experience at South Philly High.
Well, as a sophomore, at that time, high school only went 10th, 11th, and 12th. It wasn't ninth grade like it is now.
Okay.
So I came in as a sophomore. I made the varsity team then. I was a backup behind two all-city guards. Both of them made all-public. A guy named Andrew Jones and another guy named Bernard Witherspoon. Okay. So they was the 1 and 2, and I was a backup. And I played either position. When I came in, I played either position. What my breakout game, as a sophomore, one of the guys who played on the team, they already pitched, who was a start 3, got hurt.
Gotcha.
Before the game. Okay. So I got my first start.
No doubt.
And it was against a team called Bartram. And Bartram at that time was playoff team. Like, this was like a big time game. And I scored 26 points in my first start.
Wow.
And that was my first big headline. Yeah. It was like, from that point on, things just progressed for me. Guys would come up to me, and I didn't even know how good I was.
Yeah.
But other people knew. Other people come up to me, man, listen, man, you're gonna be All-American. I'm like, wow, that's a big step. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're a young guy, you don't see yourself like that.
Exactly. What were your attributes? Like, what was your height back then?
6'4". I ain't grew since high school, man.
So I'm 6'4" guard, 6'4" lanky guard,
6'4" guard, about 160 pounds. That's how skinny I was.
No doubt. String bean, getting buckets.
Yeah. But I was tough and I was feisty. I was strong. I was strong for a skinny guy, and people tried to use that as a disadvantage, and all they did was pay because I was feisty and strong enough. You couldn't bully me on the court. You know what I mean? Because I was smart enough, I'm going to foul you out. And then I'm a 90% foul shooter. So you in trouble.
Got you. So what else? What are some other big time memories that you have from playing at South Philly High?
Yeah, well, every year my team lost to the eventual champion in the Final Four. Okay. We would get to the Final Four and we would lose to the team that ended up winning the championship. That was always tough, but we always had great games. Now, but one particular year, my junior year, I thought we had a team to win it all. Okay. And we played a mass bomb team that we had already beat during the regular season and beat them handedly. So we're playing them in the Final Four, and I think we just took it for granted. Man, they ended up running us off the court, man.
Wow.
And it's funny that we talk about it today because one of my teammates that was on that team stopped past here today, and we was talking about it earlier today. His name Kevin Williams. We call him Mountain Man because we still talk about that because we should have won. We knew we should have won.
No doubt.
And then some of the great players back then was we had Rico Washington, who I thought was probably the best player in the city. He was the best of us.
And what school did Rico play at again?
He played at Frankfurt first, and then he transferred to Franklin.
Okay, got you.
But I won all the awards. I mean, let's be honest. I got Player of the Year, MVP of the Public League, and all that.
Oh,
but I wasn't the best player.
You racked up all that.
Right, but I wasn't the best player. He was. Okay. He was without a doubt. Okay. And the reason why I got him and he didn't is because I had all the other things going for me. I was a great student. Okay. I was an honor roll student. Okay. You know what I mean? So, I had everything going where he had all the other things going the other way.
I understand.
So, and God bless him too, because he also passed, but he was probably the best high school player that I ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, Rico Washington.
Rico Washington. Rest in peace, Rico Washington, the legend. Who are a few other names? Who are some of the toughest players besides Rico? A few of the toughest players that you had that you remember, going up against. Anything you remember?
Man, it was like the golden age of basketball during that time in the city of Philadelphia. You had Hank Gathers, Bo Kimball. You had Pooh Richardson. You had myself. You had Lionel Simmons. You had Mark. I can't think of his last name. Played with them and then transferred to. What's his name? Mark. Anyway, it was talent was everywhere. Paul Snoop Graham ended up playing in the NBA. All of these guys was playing during that era. Bruiser Flint.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about Bruiser Flint. Yeah, for sure.
Bruiser Flint. Bruiser was a great basketball player. Dallas Comedy. You know, it was some phenomenal talent. Dallas was actually, you know, a McDonald's All-American and considered the best player in the country at the time. Went to DePaul.
My man,
so yeah,
somebody
you know,
Dawson said Ricky Tucker. Mark Stevenson. Somebody said.
See, they was before me. They was before me.
Okay.
See, I didn't mention them because
that name Mark. Was it Mark Stevenson?
Mark Stevenson, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mark Stevenson. Yeah, but Ricky Tucker and them was my old heads.
Gotcha.
You know, I grew up watching them.
I got you.
You know,
okay.
And I can tell you a story about me and Ricky.
Yes.
When the first time I ever got to play against Ricky, it was both of us was done with our college careers. We're back home and we're playing in this little league up in Haddington, and it's me and him going at each other. And I'm talking about this true story, man. True story. For about 5 minutes in a real basketball game, it was just me come down, shoot a three, he come down, shoot a three. Me come down, shoot a three, he come down, shoot a three. And we went at this hard, talking shit to each other, you know, fighting basically, hitting each other, you know what I mean? Yeah, he taught me about toughness, man.
That's right.
He taught me about toughness. He was so damn tough, man. And we literally went at it for like 5 minutes.
That's
just back,
crazy.
refusing to relent. You know what I mean? And I can remember the last play of the game. I got the ball and he's telling the guy who's guarding me, "Don't reach. Whatever you do, don't reach." And the guy reached, and I crossed him, went a shot of three, and he fouled me. 4-point play. And we just,
crazy.
But yeah, that was me. That's me and Ricky Tucker's story, man. Like I love him, man. I love him. He is a great guy. He's a great old head. We still stay in touch with each other to the day.
That's what's up. So take me through some classic summer league memories, whether it's the Baker Leagues or you know, any Sunny Hill stuff. Some of your most memorable, anything that people may still talk about to this day, regarding the Philly summer leagues that you played in back in the day. And then if you can, shout the names of the leagues out so people can recall.
Okay, we had 16 and Diamond, which was a extremely big summer league back then. Like I said, all the big time players played in it. You know, I played in it, won the championship 2-3 years in a row.
That's right.
And I quit. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
That was what I did, man. Like I said, I won, man.
Yeah.
You know, the coach would come get me, man, and we was gonna win. You know, I'm setting everything straight. I had the Young Bucks on my team. I had Hank Gathers, Derek Gathers.
You played with the Gathers brothers.
Yeah. We was loaded, man.
Tell me what that was like, man.
Anthony Chenault.
Yeah, my man. My son took young Tony Chenault pop. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Probably the best pure shooter ever come out of this city.
Wow.
Anthony Chenault.
Wow.
Pure shooter, man.
Wow.
Tell you a story about him and me.
Yes, sir.
Me, him, and a guy named Mike Anderson. You heard of Mike Anderson, right?
Yes.
Mike Anderson played at Drexel, then went and played in the NBA also. But he's like one of my big time friends. Well, the three of us played on a Baker League Sunny Hill team together. The top three scorer in the league was Nate Blackwell, 29, Chenault, 28, Mike Anderson, 27. We won every game, and we won every game by more than 20 points.
It's crazy.
Sunny Hill got mad at us because he invited the Sixers summer league team come down and play us as the champ. And we beat them by 20. We embarrassed them. So he broke the team up. There's no bullshit. He broke the team up. We played 1 year together. He broke us up.
No way.
That's a true story. Me, Chenault, and Mike Anderson.
He traded y'all around. He traded y'all away.
Split us up, man. Split us up bad.
Cold-blooded.
Then I also had the Baker League memory I was telling you about earlier with me and Pooh Richardson, where we both went at each other. I ended up scoring like 60-something. He scored 60-something.
Wow.
Triple overtime, and we ended up winning. The story, the story inside the story on that is the second overtime. It's about 2 seconds to go, and we down. I I get fouled, but I get fouled so hard, the guy knocks me back, and he literally knocks me out.
Oh, wow.
So I'm knocked out.
Uh-huh.
Literally knocked out.
Yeah, unconscious.
Sonny Hill stops the game and says, "We're not finishing the game until Nate Blackwell is okay."
Oh, wow. Wow.
So they took me in the locker room. Now, this is before everybody was keen to what concussions do to people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got myself together, believe it or not, came back, like I said, from being knocked out, like seeing stars and all that shit, made the 2 foul shot.
Whoa.
So we go to the 3rd overtime.
Yo, this is crazy.
Then in the 3rd overtime, I proceeded to score about 10 points in a row before the concussion kicked in.
Wow.
I started running down the court, and I started seeing stars, and, everything got woozy, and I ended up falling out.
Wow.
And we ended up winning the game. True story.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yep.
I mean, this was, before all the concussion protocol and what.
Yeah.
You just.
I probably had about 20 concussions. Didn't even know what they were.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Yo, is there any footage of any of this stuff? Like you got any old VCR tapes or any old DVDs sitting around?
The sad part about it is I really don't have a lot, but it's all out there.
Yeah. Because
I see other people, other people will show me stuff.
Yeah.
Show me this.
Yeah.
If you go on YouTube, they got 2 stories about me.
Okay.
One is called Nate Blackwell, Philadelphia Legend.
Uh-huh.
And it's about a 9-minute piece just on me.
Uh-huh.
And then there's another one is called Nate Blackwell 1986.
Okay.
And it talks about my senior year at Temple.
Okay.
And it's a whole documentary. My family, everybody gets interviewed.
I definitely got to look those up.
They show you the corner to my house.
Oh, no
at
doubt.
The end, Yeah, they come into the house, talk to my mom, dad, brother, everybody. And the piece was played during the halftime of the Temple Villanova game.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's hot. That's
hot.
I like that.
So, yeah, it was big time. It was big time.
Definitely got to check that out.
One of my teammates, Mike Verizwick, actually saw it and snatched that piece out of the tape of the Villanova Temple game and sent it to me. You know what I mean? And put it on YouTube. So for the world to see.
That's hot. That's hot. Question, I'm always curious. Like when I talked to Mo Howard, interviewed him on the show, he was just telling me about the old like the experiences where like the Philly versus New York games, when Dr. J came down. Did you have any experiences playing against, going up to New York or playing in New York or Baltimore or Jersey? Tell me what those experiences was like, and anybody notable that you may have went up against back then.
Let me just say, how did I start this thing off? I just win, baby.
Basically.
Everywhere I went, we won.
Yeah.
I would go up to New York, play against Mark Jackson and them, Chris Mullin, Raphael Addison, big name, and we win.
Yeah.
We just win, baby. Go down to Baltimore, played against the late Grim Bias, God bless his soul. Beat him, didn't even know who he was at the time.
Wow, crazy.
Everywhere I went, man, I won, man. New York had a thing where they came to Philly in the 40s when I was in my 40s, and they had an over 40 team playing against us. And this me, Louis Lloyd, the great Louis Lloyd, God bless his soul. All of us down in my and listen, man, we put it to him so bad. After the game, it's a guy that had a footage of it and got them talking and us talking, and we all talking shit. You know what I mean? It's classic. It's classic. I wish I had it, but I don't have it. Man. But yeah.
That sounds good, man. I know, like these days, all the youngsters is playing like AAU basketball, all that kind of stuff. Was there any AAU? Did you do any AAU back then, or wasn't prominent or popular back then? Traveling, doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, AAU wasn't the popular thing back then.
Gotcha.
At that time, there was nothing bigger in the United States than the Sonny Hill League.
Okay. So, and everybody came there to play.
The Sonny Hill League had probably the greatest reputation of playing basketball anywhere in this country.
Okay.
And that's I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
It was the place to play. People came from everywhere to play in the Sunny Hill League. New York, Washington, Baltimore, you know, Jersey. Everybody came to play in the Sunny Hill League. So, you know, I had the Sunny Hill League. It wasn't worth me going out to play other places because I had all the talent in the world right there.
Basically, yeah, got you. Help me to understand what. Let's talk about the college recruiting process. Tell me about the process for you, all the different schools that was recruiting you, all that kind of stuff, and then what ultimately led you to playing with Coach Chaney and staying in Philly.
Well, to be honest, in my 11th grade year, I had everybody in the country recruiting me, getting letters from everybody. Some real big time interest, some mild interest. Back then, we got to remember. Well, you probably wouldn't remember, but there was no limit to how much contact you could have with high school players.
Gotcha.
So, I would come out my house at 7 in the morning to go to school, walk to school, and I got basketball recruiters out there waiting for me.
Wow,
you know,
that's crazy.
Yeah, just sitting out there in their cars, you know, wow. just waiting. It was a crazy thing back then. So I got tired of it.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I told everyone that I probably was going to stay in the city.
Okay.
So that cut all the recruiting down. I ended up being, you know, basically a local guy. I chose Temple because I had watched Coach Chaney throughout the years coaching at that time at Chaney State, winning national championship, all of that. Then he came to my house and asked me to be a camp counselor at his camps. You know, you could do all that back then. So I was camp counselor there with him for 2 years, where I got to meet Mo Howard and all. That's why my first real experience with meeting Mo Howard and all that. I was in 11th grade.
Gotcha.
And you know, they tell me this happened. I don't know for sure because I was playing at the time. But we used to have a camp counselor game. And you know, most of the guys was already in college.
Okay.
You know, we had the St. Joe's guys, Jeffrey Arnold, Lonnie McFarland, Big Tony Costner, KJ, KT, all these guys were already in college. But then you had myself, Bruiser, and Rico, who was still high school guys. And Mo would play with us. I mean, everybody would play. And man, I did some things out there, man. You know, I did some things. And they said this one particular thing. I come down court. It was a 3-on-1, and I got the ball in the middle. And I faked it behind my back this way and threw it to this way. And they tell me John Chaney got up, walked over to Sunny Hill, and said, "I gotta have it."
Yo, that's legendary right there, man. When did you hear that story? When did you hear it? Like a couple of days after, or like years later?
Yeah. They told me, like, you know, no. I actually heard it right after it happened.
Oh, right after
it happened. Yeah, because they was kind of talking about. Everybody was kind of talking about
it. Big time,
was like,
right there. I mean,
you see what Coach Chaney did? Coach Chaney ran over to Coach Sunny Hill and said, "Listen, I gotta have
it." That's hot, man. That's legendary, man. So you wind up. So what ultimately sold you? So was it just like, you know, you built the fact that you had built a relationship with John Chaney and everything, and then it's kind of all the whole recruiting process, it just all made sense for you to go there?
Yeah, I trusted him. I trusted him.
Gotcha.
He was like a father figure. I could see that. He caught me cursing like the first times I met him. I got busted cursing at some people, and he came right at me, man.
Came
right at me, man. I was like, oh, this guy's like my dad. He's like a real dude, you know, he ain't let me get away with shit because he want me to play for him.
That's
you know, he cussed my ass out.
That's right. I got you. That's old school right there, man.
It was I trusted him, man, you know, and then what he told me was what he did. He said, "Listen, we're gonna build this team up, you and me. And you know, I'm gonna put the ball in your hands."
Gotcha.
And God tell you that, man. You know, what I'm most proud of, like I said, is I won so much. But me and him and other guys, Howard Evans, Tim Perry, you know, Kevin Cook, all these guys that played with me, Mike Reevick, Ramon Rivas, we made history at Temple. Because we took a mid-major program at the time and made it into a national program. Coach Chaney had 2 32-win seasons back to back. Number 1 in the nation, number 3 in the nation. You know, we went from a team that wasn't even talked about to a team that was constantly in the top 10. Yeah. And we changed the culture. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It became you know, winning was an attitude. It was something that we really meant, you know.
No doubt.
Like we didn't just come to play. Yeah. We coming to win.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's what we did. We won a lot of games. Like I said, when I finished my career, I was the winningest player in Temple history.
Wow. So take us through, take me and the viewers through your Temple experience. You don't got to go year by year, just however you want to do it. Just some of your most memorable Temple experiences, memorable games. You know, some big time players you played against. Anything that sticks out to you from Temple.
Man, listen. I had a lot of big time moments, which was big for me. You know, as a freshman, you know, there's a guy running the tape who's doing that Villanova game that I was talking about. The guy that's actually speaking. He says in the beginning of it, Nate Blackwell single-handedly as a freshman beat St. Joe's right here in the Spectrum.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I remember that. Yeah. I remember hitting them big shots.
Yeah.
And you know, then my last game in that year, we like in the Sweet 16, we playing Michael Jordan in them.
Wait, y'all was playing North Carolina?
You played North Carolina. North Carolina was number 1. We was number 13.
Oh, wait. All right, wait, pause, Ice. Let's stay here for a minute. So, all right. So do me this favor. Let's set the stage. So just tell me the game y'all played in before this and then lead up to that game. Because I need to know everything. I need to know what you was thinking in your mind. Like, oh my God, we about to play against Jordan. I need to know all that. And then let's talk about it. This is major, man.
Listen. Before that, the game to get us to that game, we're playing against a St. John's team that featured Chris Mullins, Bill Wellington, Mark Jackson.
Legendary.
Right. We beat them. Terrence Stansbury, who's a legend for us, hits a shot at the buzzer to win the game.
Wow.
We win by 1 point. We down by 1.
Wow.
Remember, it's no 3-pointers my freshman year.
Crazy.
Terrence shoots a shot that probably would have been a 4-pointer.
Yes.
Makes it. We beat them, and then we got to face Michael Jordan in the next game.
So
I ended up.
Listen. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I ended up turning my ankle the day before we played Michael Jordan in practice.
Oh, wow.
So it became emergency to get Nate Blackwell ready.
Yes.
So I spent the whole day icing it, heating it, icing it, heating it, walking on it, running it. I'm talking about 24 hours.
Yeah.
I had the darn the guys who work on you, man, they basically stayed in my room.
Yeah.
You know, getting me ready for this game, which I was able to go out and play.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing. Like I said, I wasn't myself. I only scored 4 points because, like I said, my foot wasn't great. But we played Mike and them. We played them extremely well. There's clips in it on those documentaries I told you about that's on YouTube. It's clips of those games. Yeah. And you'll see one of them, we're playing Michael Jordan and them, and the score is with 6 minutes to go. Or no, 3 minutes to go. We're down 6.
Okay.
It was like 62-56. So it was that, you know, they didn't blow us out. Like it was a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My man Terrence Stansbury showed out. He had like 26. Mike had like 26. So it was a big time game. I got to meet all those guys. Got their respect. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What do you remember? What do you remember from Mike's performance that night? What kind of you know, display did he put on?
Oh, he killed us when he got his chance to.
Yeah.
But he killed everybody, so it wasn't no problem.
No doubt.
You know, I just remember. What I really remember is we was very conscious of their alley-oop play. Yeah. They were famous for throwing an alley-oop to him and James Worthy. Yeah. You know. Oh, let me tell you who's on that team. I ain't tell you who all on that team. Yeah. Kenny Smith, Brad Daugherty, Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, All of them on that team.
James Worthy.
Right. It's look. Well, I think Worthy had just left. I think I might have misspoke with James. I think he had just left. But those other 4 guys was definitely there.
Loaded. They was loaded though. All stars. They was loaded.
Loaded. All Americans. They had All Americans sitting on the bench. Yeah. Joe Wolf and them, who was All Americans, didn't even hardly get in the game. You know what I mean? That's how good they was.
Yes.
But I remember us practicing to stop this alley-oop. You know, that's their key play. That's what get them riled up. And we had everything planned perfect. You know, we had a guy who could leap too. Yeah. He said, like, you know, when you go up, challenge the jump. Man, shit. They must have threw the ball up over the damn
over the backboard.
The square over top of the basket. And Mike caught it and dunked it. I just remember seeing his shoes. You know, his shoes flying.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That's legendary right there, man.
Then my sophomore year, I was MVP of the game where we played Georgetown, who was number 1. Yeah. They was loaded. They had Patrick Ewing.
Oh, wow.
Reggie Williams, Reggie Wingate, Muggsy Bogues, not Muggsy Bogues, Michael Jackson. They was loaded. All those guys went to the NBA also. Yeah. They was number 1 in the country. This the year that Villanova shocked them in the championship.
Yes.
Well, if you look through that history, they beat us to get there.
Oh, wow.
We was one of the teams that they beat to get to that championship game.
Okay.
And I ended up being MVP of the game though. You know, I ended up having a big time game. Yeah. And I got into a fight with Patrick Ewing. And yeah, true story. Crazy. It's my grandmother had the cover of the Philadelphia the newspaper, the Daily News. It had me and Patrick Ewing. He got my shirt twisted up like this, right? And I'm like this. If you can see my hand, I'm like this trying to knock it off, right? And that's the clip. That's the clip. Like on the back of the Daily News, I'm like this. And Patrick Ewing got me like this.
Got you grouped
and,
up.
Yeah, I ain't tell everybody was though. When I hit his hand, he didn't move.
Yo. Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's a true story.
That's crazy, man. So how did Pat play that game? How did he do? Do you remember?
Yeah, he just played his normal stuff, man. You know, Pat wasn't a big time scorer. Pat wasn't a big time scorer in college. Remember, he was more of a defensive guy. You know, he had Reggie Williams, Reggie Wing. They did all the scoring. You know, he was more of a. He had about 10, 12 points. You know, but what we was most afraid about him was his block shot ability.
Shot blocking.
You know, yeah. So that was the thing with him. Like you didn't want him to do that to you know, but he had a good game. You know, but I was MVP, man. I'm gonna go back to that.
I know that's right. Hey, we come to win, man. MVP. Man.
Even in a losing cause, I was MVP. So that tell you how well I played.
No doubt. Any other memories? Any other things stick out? I'm sure it's like a million other memories. But anything else stick out about Temple? Anything else?
It's so many, man. You know, I just, like I said, I was fortunate, man. You know, I went from being a young guy learning from behind Terrence Stansbury to being the leader of the team, to being a phenomenal scorer. You know, I ended up scoring like crazy. You know, I scored like almost close to 1,000 points in one season. My senior year, I almost scored 1,000 points by myself. One season.
That's crazy.
I finished third in Temple history in scoring, third in Temple history in assists, and like I said, winning this record, all-time Temple history.
No doubt. From there, take me to draft night. What it was like, NBA draft night, where you were, and what that experience was like for you and your family.
Wow, that's a big memory, and it's not necessarily a good one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Early in the day, the Portland Trailblazers had called me and told me that they was taking me with the 17th pick.
Okay.
And I got news. Everyone's here at my house again. All the news, Channel 3, Channel 6, and all actual, all that. Everything's here. My family's all here. Everybody's sitting around. I don't say nothing because I wanted to be surprised. But I was the one got surprised because when they got to 17, they didn't pick me. So I didn't want everybody to know how upset I was.
Yeah.
I ended up coming upstairs and sitting with my head down.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I heard the room erupt. Ah! And I said, oh, I must have got picked.
Wow.
So I come down, and that's what they told me. 27th pick. San Antonio took me with the 27th pick.
So you wasn't even downstairs in front of the TV?
No, I didn't even hear it.
Wow.
I didn't even hear it.
Wow.
I didn't even hear it. I was up in my room with my head down, upset about Portland not taking me with the 17th pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever hear, I mean, like what the story was, or just something changed that quick, or something may have changed a couple picks ahead of that? Just some business behind this. Is a business, just business.
Yeah, it's business. Pro decisions. Mm-hmm. They go up and down. A lot of people understand a lot of this stuff is luck, man.
Yeah,
Be in the right place, right time.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody believing you, somebody not sure you.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So it was just unfortunate that that happened.
Yeah.
But I was still blessed. But
For sure.
I was just very upset because when you sit there and you think something's gonna happen, and then it don't happen, you think I might be in for a long night here.
Yes, exactly. So take me through, help me to understand what your NBA experience was like. The highs, the lows, and everything in between.
Man, my NBA career was short.
Okay.
And it was because I was the party guy.
I understand.
Yeah, I partied too hard, man.
Yeah.
Like I said,
was that were you already that type of just, did you like to party prior to, or just when the money came, you just just found out that you loved the party and just went into it? I
was 22, tons of money, on my own.
Yeah.
Brand new BMW, brand new house. I just was living the life, man. I ended up just partying too hard,
Okay. And when you say partying too hard, help me to understand.
Girls, parties, literally party.
Yeah.
Drugs wasn't the issue back then.
Okay.
It was mostly just I couldn't stay away from the girls.
Yeah, just
I couldn't stay.
Yeah.
Man, listen, this is what they used to do. It's one club in San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
It's called Illusion.
Okay.
They used to call me the king of illusion.
Wow. You was a regular. You was the goat up in that joint.
Listen, when I say I was the guy, I was the guy.
No doubt.
Every team that would come in, I ended up hanging out with probably every big time star in the NBA.
Got you.
Reason why? Because when we came to town back then, we didn't have private flight, fly in, fly out. You had to stay.
Okay.
So let's say we playing the Lakers.
Uh-huh.
After the game, Magic Johnson asked somebody on our team, yo, what's to do tonight?
Yeah.
You know what they say? You got to ask the Rook. I was the Rook. You know what I mean? Imagine that. I'm going to pick Magic Johnson up at the hotel to take him to the party.
Yo, that's crazy.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yo, that's crazy.
Dominique Wilkins.
Yo.
You name them. I had them, man.
Yo,
I hung out with him so bad that when we played the Lakers in L.A., Magic invited me to his house to a party.
Yo, crazy. Yo,
listen, man.
Tell me a story. Tell me anything. Tell me like anything, I mean, not nothing juicy, you know what I mean? Just something that you remember from, maybe hanging out with Magic at the club, or just anything, man, anything.
Well, I'm going to tell you one great one. It's about David Robinson, right?
Uh-huh.
David was my teammate, right?
Okay.
So now
the Admiral.
David signs. Now David is basically staying with me.
Okay.
Because he had a 2-year naval obligation that he couldn't play.
Okay.
So all he could do was sign his contract and come down on weekends for the game.
Okay.
But when he came down on weekends, he stayed with us.
Wow.
Stayed with me and Cadillac.
Yo,
so now,
man, that's classic, man.
Yeah, listen, no, this is classic. So the night that he signs the contract, it's the biggest contract in NBA history at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 years, $30 million, right? Biggest contract in the NBA at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes with us to the club, which David ain't no club dude.
Yeah, he's coming all disciplined, naval cat. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, listen. We got, San Antonio is relatively a small city.
Yeah.
They only got one professional team.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else. No baseball, no football, no soccer. It's basketball. That's it. We are it, you know?
Yeah.
Man, the girls was going phenomenal, like crazy. Just, oh, man, they was all over us, pulling on us. David signed it. I took full advantage of David signing that contract. That's all I'm going to say about it, all right? I'm going to leave it there because it gets X-rated after that.
No doubt. Oh, man, I can only imagine. I can dig it. That's classic, man. Hey, so
I had to make David was such a good guy.
Yeah.
I had to make him talk to girls. Like, he just was reserved and stand back guy, man.
Yeah.
One of the true nicest guys in the world. I will say that about David. Truly a nice guy.
What how did your NBA career come to a close? And then tell me about the transition to whatever it was after that.
Well, again, like I said, I had developed that reputation of partying. So they got me out of San Antonio and they sent me to Golden State. Now I go to Golden State and they really just didn't have plans for me.
Okay.
So you know, I played there. I was on basically like 2 10 days with them. And, you know, they ended up releasing me without, I never even played in a game. I was just on the team and dressed for about 10, 11 games.
Gotcha.
But I never played, you know. So, you know, it came to an end there. And like I said, once you get branded as something, it's hard to shake it.
It's hard to shake that stick.
So, right. I knew that I was going to have trouble getting back in the NBA because of that.
Gotcha.
So what I did was, at that time, I made a conscious decision to become a coach.
Okay. But you
that's what I did.
About, you know what, I'm gonna go overseas and try to keep chasing.
I had offered to go.
You know what, I'm good.
I had offered to go overseas and was about to go.
Okay. And
then Coach Chaney offered me a position at Temple, and that changed everything.
Okay.
I see my daughter's on there. I just want to shout out.
Yeah,
hey, baby, I love you. That's my daughter, Chronicles of Mia, and her husband, Jazz.
No doubt.
Love y'all.
Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. So you go and you start coaching with Coach Chaney. Tell me, just, you know, brief, you know, take us through the coaching experience and, you know, what that was like for you, you know, coaching, you know, back at your alma mater, then you made the trip down to Coppin State and, you know, all that, then you came full circle back to Temple.
The best thing about becoming a coach, this ain't nothing to do with basketball. Because basketball stuff I had, that's easy.
Yeah.
The greatest thing about coaching was getting to know Coach Chaney on the other side.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting to know the man, Coach Chaney, and him getting to know the man named Blackwell.
That's
you know, we no longer, you know, like we together now. We like buddies.
Peers now.
Right. Right. And this guy was, man, let me tell you, man, this guy was I can't even describe what he was, man. He was everything to me. You know what I mean? He did everything right in my book. You know, even when he did shit wrong, it was right.
No doubt.
You know, phenomenal guy, man. Great teacher. Like I said, loved me to death. More recently, I had some health issues. I've been in the hospital, in and out of the hospital, which, you know, I'm glad to say that I pretty much have recovered from all of that.
Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
I got all the way down. You see now, I'm like 220.
Okay.
I got all the way down to like 150.
Oh, wow.
That's how sick I was.
Wow.
But
through the grace of God,
what I remember
bless you,
most,
man, in your health, man. Bless you in your recovery.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to hear.
What I remember most was being in the hospital, hooked up to all them damn machines and everything, and I get a phone call, and it's Coach Chaney.
Wow,
you know
that's special, man. That's special.
Coach Chaney.
I know that makes
and then not only him, I hang up from him, and about an hour or two later, my high school coach called me.
Oh, wow.
And Coach Snyder. I was like, man, this got to be the most unbelievable day of my life in the hospital.
That's special, you know? Man. That's special, man.
My friends were supportive, man. I think Lady told me, because I was in the hospital during the time when the Super Bowl was happening.
Okay.
So I had to watch the Super Bowl in hospital. I had so many friends and people come up. They ended up taking us out of my room, giving us a room, And the lady said this is probably the first time they ever had a Super Bowl party in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Pizza, wings, everything but beer.
You supposed to be getting well. You party.
Yeah, man. Listen, and I had everybody there, man. The party is still in me, man.
That's legendary right there, man. That's classic, man.
Yeah.
Hey, who's some of the players, some of the notable players that you were instrumental in helping out that came through while you was at Temple? Some of the players.
Oh, man, shoot. I think I coached, I probably coached about 16, 17 guys, end up playing in the NBA. From Mark Macon to Rick Brunson to Aaron Jones, Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones, Mark Strickland, Donald Hodge, Dwayne Caldwell was my roommate. Tim Perry was my roommate. Pepe Sanchez, Lynn Greer, Marty Collins.
Yeah, you were there.
Man, listen, I got my resume is complete, man. It's crazy. Kevin Lyde, who was McDonald's All-American. Mark Karcher, who was a McDonald's All-American.
Man.
I had an unbelievable Mark Jackson, played with the Sixers, big Mark Jackson, I coached him. My resume is unbelievable.
That's awesome, man. That's a blessing, man. Help me to understand how your the coaching chapter of your life closed at that time, and kind of help me to understand the dynamics around that experience.
Well, like I said, I got into some demons. I was doing drugs heavy at the time. Because we had so much time.
Like if you don't mind, be a little more specific.
Cocaine. Cocaine.
Gotcha.
I was doing cocaine.
Gotcha.
So to be honest, like I said, it had gotten to a point to where it was affecting my life. It was affecting everything I did.
I understand.
I went from being a great coach to a guy who was missing in action. Always had an excuse for something. Yeah. And it basically took me down like it takes most people down. Yeah. I'm no better than anybody else. Drugs ain't got no darn arrow to it. It's gonna take on the devil. Gonna take on whoever he can get. And so he jumped on my back and he rolled me. And I ended up doing too many things that were suspicious. And they ended up asking me to leave. So I had to step down.
Was it like, just an example of how that kind of it started to compromise your life? Like, just give me an example of, like, was it like, not showing up for things, or just an example of how it started to compromise your lifestyle?
Exactly that. We might be scheduled to meet with the team to do something, and then I come up with some lie to get out of it. Like I had something to do, or something emergency happened. The typical lies that all drug addicts use.
I understand.
I said, I ain't no different than I had them all. I had the same things that everybody else did. I lied about everything. And to support my habit. And it was a bad time in my life. Yeah. But it was a learning experience for me. It was an experience. It affected my family, it affected my children, it affected their lives. Because right now I probably should be a millionaire, and I'm not. Yeah. And I ain't worried about the money for myself, but I would have been able to help my kid. And that's the one thing. If I have any regrets, that's the biggest regret right there. Is that it took me from being in a position to really help my kid, and I couldn't. Gotcha. I could no longer do it. So Yep.
What did you learn? You talked about that being a learning experience from you. Two-part question. What did you learn from that experience ultimately, and then at what point did you take back your life and put that demon behind you?
Well, what happens is I had too much money and too much time on my hands. At Temple we practice 5:30 in the morning. So practice is over at 8 o'clock. I'm out of the office by 10. Yeah. This is every morning. Everybody at work. Yeah. Nobody home. Kids at school. Yeah. I'm by myself. Yeah. A man with money and time on his hand is not a good thing. You know what I mean? So,
I understand. Yep.
I went from being a casual user to an everyday user because I had time every day. And eventually it just caught up with me, like caught up with everything I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
It graduates.
Did you realize? Were you realizing that it was getting out of hand, or it just all of a sudden you like one day like that? How did I get here? Like a snapshot,
Well,
like, you know.
Yeah, kind of like slipping in the darkness. You remember that song about Gil Scott-Heron?
Slipping
in the darkness.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about the fact that you don't even recognize it until you in the darkness.
I understand.
You know, I took, had I been able to recognize it sooner, I truly believe that I would have been able to redirect my life at that time. I was that strong and that type of guy. But strong will can work against you too.
Yeah.
And that's what it did. It worked against me because I got to a point to where I say to hell with everybody else. I can do this and do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was determined to prove people wrong.
Got you.
And ultimately it got to me. Like I said, but it was my stubbornness and my strong will, the same thing that made me the great player, the same thing that made me a great coach.
Like those same qualities.
Made me a great drug user.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, people understand. Hitler was a great leader. Whether you want to believe that or not, he just led people wrong.
Yeah.
But he obviously had great leadership skills. He made a whole nation follow his craziness.
Exactly. Yep.
So he had great leadership skills. So there's bad things that can happen to great people because if you let it happen. You know, you start thinking that way and getting into that and you become determined in your personality. We dealing with that right now with a Donald Trump who's refusing to lead.
Yeah.
But this dude still has 73 million people vote for him, man.
Yeah. Yep.
This guy got, whether we want to admit it or not, he got some great leadership skills.
That's right.
He just don't know how to, it's just bad. He leading bad.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's not a good leader. You know what I mean? Even though they can lead, and that's what we're facing now. And that's what happened to me. I kind of was my own worst enemy because I had a strong will, strong personality, and I fought against everything that people were saying that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
If you said I couldn't do it, I was determined to do it. That's the type of person I was.
And at what point did you reverse that and take back your life and beat that demon?
Well, to be honest, you never beat the demon.
I understand.
He always there.
I understand.
He's sitting there. He's just waiting to tap you on the shoulder. You know what I mean? He's waiting for you to have a weak moment.
Yeah.
He's waiting for you to be depressed. He's waiting for you to have a whole bunch of money. Yeah. He's just waiting. You know what I mean?
Yep,
so you always in that fight. You're always in that fight.
I understand.
But what I decided to do was, when I got myself clean, I said the best way to stay clean is to help others.
Yeah. Yes.
So I went ahead and drug and alcohol counseled for about 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was great to do it. And like I said, I could see myself in them, and the craziness that they did, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
it was like looking at your life go in reverse, like, wow, I really did that shit.
Yeah. Just curious.
As dumb as it seems watching other people,
Yeah. Just curious, how much I'm sure you were transparent, like during your counseling sessions and in the meetings and all that kind of stuff. How was it, what was the experience like being able to share your testimony? I'm sure you may have been transparent, let them know, I was in the NBA, I did all this and did all that. You know what I'm saying? And or
hey,
what was that experience like sharing that?
Listen,
dog. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm in Philly. I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who I was.
Yeah.
Ain't no secrets.
So it was no hiding. So it was no hiding.
Right. Ain't no secrets. Ain't like I can come in there and tell them. Ain't like I can come in there and tell them this didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, I was transparent because I had to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
people weren't going for that bullshit.
What was it like sharing your experience? And then how did you see it, like helping people, them seeing your testimony? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, to be honest, you do what you can to help people. That field is a losing field, whether you believe it or not.
No, I understand. I understand.
Out of 10,
I know it really well.
Right.
From
out of 10, you might have 7 that go back and use and go back and do it again and have to go through the show. You can't count your success on that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like who you help and this and that. You just got to know that you're helping people every day.
Gotcha.
And while you helping people, you helping yourself.
Gotcha. Helping yourself, you know, to heal and to stay clean.
Right. I'm feeling good about being able to tell somebody the right thing.
Yeah.
And whether they use it or not, that's on them. I can't, you know, I can't force them to do it. But you know, it was a great experience for me. It brought back my life. I get to watch your life in reverse. You know what I mean? The people love me. Like I said, you know, I mean, I'm a legend here.
Nice, man. For always and forever, man. Always and forever.
Everywhere I went, I had everybody's attention. When I spoke, the room was quiet. You know what I mean? Everybody want to hear my story. Everybody want to hear what really happened. And you know, of course, in that arena, I was a little more raw because it was just about that. So I could tell them like all the real bad shit that happened. You know, I'm gonna spare your audience that misery,
it's
but
all good. It's all good. I appreciate it.
But you know, you only heal when you get it off of you. You know, you try to hold on to them secrets, hold on to shit you did, stuff you may have done when you was under drugs and all that stuff. It just eats you up. Yeah. So you gotta forgive yourself and get that off of you. Yeah. You know, get it out there. Let people know. And guess what? If they want to talk about you, that's up to them.
It is what it is.
You know, if they want to make it bad, that's up to them. But I know I got it off of me. That's the way I looked at it.
No doubt. Couple more questions. I just want to remind the audience. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm really training. I appreciate you, big dog. You know, appreciate you tuning in. For everybody that's tuned in tonight, I just got a few more questions for Coach Nate. You guys can start right now and start typing your questions. If anybody has any questions for Coach Blackwell, for Nate Blackwell, my man Ice, start typing your questions right now in the comment section, and I'll save them. We'll come back to them, you know, once I'm done, and I'll scroll through your questions and let y'all have a little dialogue with my man Nate Blackwell. One of the last few things I wanted to know, what is, just reflecting back on your life and your experience with your journey with basketball and everything, what has the game of basketball taught you? Just about life, about yourself, just about, you know, just period.
Well, I think sports in general, and you know, I'll say basketball because it was my sport, but I think sports in general teaches people how to lose, how to be gracious in losing, how to be gracious in winning. You know, we go through life most of the time, and until we become grown, we've never had any real rejections. You know, here's somebody going to say, no, you can't do this. Yeah. No, I'm not hiring you. No, you can't get this. And, you know, that breaks spirit of a lot of people. Yeah, but see, if I believe when you play sports, you learn that, you know, I won a lot of championships. I lost a lot too, though. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So while I'm sitting up here bragging about all the championships I won, it's a lot of them I lost too. So I had to learn to accept losing as well as winning. That's right. And it just teaches you how to be a better man. You know, how to be a better man, how to fight fairly for what you want and what's yours. But when you don't get it, how to be a gracious loser, and you can still be a champion and not one. Gotcha. Again, also, so if you could go back, you know, one of my favorite, you know, fantasy movies in the 80s, especially, is like Back to the Future. So if you could, you know, get into a DeLorean and go back to the future, go back to the 80s, and just imagine yourself, you know, at your age now, sitting right next to 16-year-old Day-Day. What would you tell him? What would you tell him? What advice would you have for him about the road ahead? Stay away from drugs. Stay away from drugs. I wouldn't change nothing else I did in my life. You know, the ups and the downs. Yeah. Even being cut in the NBA, all that, the little bit I played, all that was fine. The coaching, I wouldn't change none of that, man. Yeah. You know, everything went as God planned it. But I would have, if I could go back now, I would tell my young self, don't indulge. Yeah. In the use of drugs, because what started out as such a very weak casual thing ended up destroying a lot of things for me.
Gotcha.
So I would that's the one thing I would pull back, you know.
Gotcha.
Basically, that's it. Yeah.
Gotcha. My last question before we get to the people, it's, you know, it's a lot of younger kids that are watching right now, or that may see it when I upload the interview to YouTube. Talk to the younger generation right now, real quick, in the way of just give them some keys to success. Any recruiting tips, just anything you want to say to the younger generation. Any keys to success, anything for the younger, you know, high school generation and college kids and all that.
Find somebody who's successful at what you want to do, and copy it. Copy it. You know,
yeah.
This thing is not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard. What's hard is we get in our own way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people criticize Kobe Bryant for wanting to be like Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. He walked like him.
And he ended up being. He probably ended up being the second greatest scorer to Jordan. Yeah. I mean, if you had to say who was Jordan like, you would have to say Kobe first.
Yeah, true.
And then, you know, people are like, oh man, he's just trying to be like Jordan. Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah, facts. I appreciate you saying that, man, because so many times people get that misconstrued, or like that's a taboo, it's a bad thing. Oh, he trying to be like Jordan. Look how he chewing his gum. Look how he walking. Look how he wins.
Hey man, listen.
You know what I mean?
Find somebody successful at whatever it is you want to do, and copy it. Copy how they tie their damn shoe.
I know that's
copy
right.
How they, you know what I mean?
I know that's right.
Copy it, man. Just copy it.
I know that's right. Well, that's pretty much everything that I had for you, man. I'm gonna get to a couple questions. Anybody else watching, if anything pop up in your mind, just type it in the comment section. Your daughter. That's your daughter, right? Chronicles of Mia.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Yep. She said top two favorite players to coach and why that you coached.
Wow. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
She puts you in a box. She puts you in a box.
Yeah, because all my guys gonna be like, "What? Not me?" Well, you know, just right off the bat, I would have to say Aaron McKee and Lynn Greer.
Okay.
And the reason why they're probably my favorite two players that I coached is because their demeanor was a lot like mine.
Okay.
Soft-spoken, but tough, hard, did whatever it take to win. And they just, they remind me. I saw myself in them.
Okay, gotcha. My man J Mac from Norristown wants to know, who is your high school rival?
My biggest high school rival. You mean as a player or school?
Just do both. Do both. Do both.
Well, like I said, as a player, it was Rico Washington, because we was the two best players in the public league. At the time, you know, and so it was either, like I said, it was either me or him was going to get the MVP trophies. Yeah. I ended up getting them, but like I said, in all honesty, he probably deserved it. But I had all the other things to go along with it. And then with schools, it was probably Overbrook or West Philly, because we was all in the same conference, and they usually had the better teams. Okay, it just so happened when the years I came through, we actually beat them more than they beat us.
Gotcha. Jazzy Incorporated. I'm not sure if this is another question that's going to put you in the box to get you in trouble. It said, who do you think was the best player you coached?
Oh, guess what? That's my son-in-law, and they answered the same question. Jazz, I just answered that. I would say Aaron McKee and again Lynn Greer. They were my two best.
Bang Bang 1818 says, name some competition coming up. Oh, some competition coming up.
Competition coming up. Oh, when I was coming up.
Yeah. You named
the like I said.
Yeah, just repeat.
Like I said, you had Bruiser in the city at the time. We had the Bruiser Flint, who was my senior year. Dallas Comegys, who was National Player of the Year. Then, like I said, me and Rico Washington, Jeffrey Arnold. I had Hank and Bo Gathers. They were younger, but they were still playing. They was actually playing during my time. Pooh Richardson, Dow Gates. It was a lot of guys. Man, Philly was actually loaded back then.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a question. would you, God willing, your health, everything's good, and this coronavirus, is whatever in the future. Would you ever get back into coaching at any level, whether it's like, youth, high school, college, or just anything else? Kind of giving
Well,
back in that way?
I tried some AAU stuff for a minute, and I was very, very successful.
Yeah.
I just can't deal with the parents, man.
Oh man, you telling me? I can only imagine.
Parents are tough, man.
I can only imagine.
Parents are tough, man. I coached the 7th and 8th grade team, man, and we was really, really good.
Yeah.
But I had parents, man. Parents just everybody kid was going to the NBA,
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to accept a role, So I seen my son-in-law say who was the best player.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't the best player. I'm sorry, Jazz. The best player I would have to say is either Eddie Jones, Aaron McKay, maybe Mark Macon. The three of them, I can't pick one between.
Got you. Bang Bang 18 said if you had to pick 5, who would they be? I guess maybe from your era, five players to go on the road and play up New York. Who, if that's what he's asking.
Nah, I think he might be asking pick 5 best NBA guys. I would say I'm going in there with Jordan.
Okay.
I'm going in there with Kobe. I'm going in there with LeBron. I'm going in there with Magic. And my big man is going to be Kareem.
Got you.
Yeah.
Jazzy Inc. also wants to know, the most you talked about the most points you scored, like I believe
yeah, they was outside of college.
Yeah.
In college,
most points in college.
In college, my career high is 37.
Okay.
And I was mad at that game because I ended up missing a fast break layup kinda. And I missed like 4 foul shots in that game, which I was a 90% foul shooter. And what I was so upset was I had a chance to eclipse 40 and I didn't do it. And I look back at those things and I was mad about that. So
no doubt.
Here it is, I just scored the highest I ever scored, and I walked away from the game mad.
That's crazy. Curious, that flick of the wrist don't never change. Can you still shoot, man? You still got that wrist? You still got the wrist action?
Man, I shoot like crazy, man. I still can shoot, man. I shoot so good, man. I
love you. I love your humility, by the way. I love your humility.
This is a true story. It's a true story. Myself and Tim Perry, we had a basketball camp that we would run.
Yeah.
Where we teach little kids.
Yeah.
So I was out all night, hanging out, partying, and I got up and I said, oh shit, I'm gonna be late. So I had to leave from where I was and go straight to the gym. Now I go straight to the gym. I ain't got gym clothes on, nothing. I got jeans and all this shit. I step on the court, and of course, like when I get on the court, I'm a natural. I go back to natural instinct. So everything is great. The guy who's with me, and sometimes I don't even remember these things because they just happen.
Yeah.
He said while I was talking to the players, I was shooting threes, and he said I made about 15 in a row as I was talking. And I said, did I? He was like, yeah, like that. I don't remember stuff. Like, it's all muscle memory.
Yes.
It's all muscle memory,
Yes,
like,
yes.
I don't even view it as like a big deal sometimes.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Oh, go Koi, GO_KOY wants to know, you mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but just kind of repeat it if they weren't tuned in earlier. Top 5 from South Philly, all time top 5. All time. Yep.
I gotta say Will Chamberlain because people don't know he's from South Philly, but he's from South Philly. Probably Lionel Simmons, Kareem Towns, a guy who nobody else even knows either. Maybe a guy named Jody Johnson.
I heard about
phenomenal player.
Who?
Phenomenal player.
I think Rab. When I interviewed Rab told me about Jody Johnson. He mentioned Jody Johnson to me.
Listen. When I was at Southern, we was called Batman and Robin.
Wow.
I was Batman. He was Robin. He was a bad guy, man. Yeah. Unfortunately, God rest his soul. He's not here today, but you talking about a bad dude. This dude was bad, man.
Wow.
I'm talking bad.
Yeah, I heard stories.
Yeah, so that would be my 5. And even Gene Banks. People don't realize Gene Banks is from South Philly, even though he went and played at West Philly.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it, man. If anybody has any last minute questions, y'all can type it. But I think that's pretty much everything, man. Just want to thank you so much for joining me here on Legends Week, man. This was more than a treat. Everything that I expected from you, man. You know, I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate just in how you articulate and process your life and share it with others. You know what I'm saying? Because I've learned a lot of things about you and different things for myself as far as life lessons and different tips that I can apply to myself. Thank you so much for your contribution, all the classic memories that you've given to the city of Philadelphia and beyond, man. And just thanks for this. Thanks for being the cool dude that you are, Ice. I appreciate you.
Hey,
man. I appreciate you, good brother.
Listen. I appreciate you having me here. Like I said earlier, before we even got on the phone with these other people, it was just me and you.
Yes, sir.
It's an honor in itself that people call you a legend.
Yeah.
You know, people consider you a legend. So that's an honor to me. You know,
yes,
like
sir.
I said, you're not a real legend until other people say it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
so
for sure.
You know, the fact that other people say that about me is an honor. I don't take it lightly. I'm not arrogant like that. You know, I'm tough. Yeah. I'm hard.
No doubt.
I believe in me.
Yeah.
But I'm also humble and appreciate the fact that people still love me and still stay with me through all of this.
No doubt. Well, that's pretty much that, man. One last thing that I do, as far as passing the torch and passing the baton, it's a way. If in the event that you are connected, obviously you are. Any other legends that you think would fit the mold of what I do that you would like to see on the platform? Any legends that you would want to endorse? Anyone that you could possibly help me to get in contact with the interview? The door is wide open. Anyone that you want to endorse, that you could possibly help me connect with, I greatly would appreciate it, man. Any other legends in the city, man, or any beyond that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I got to think about it.
Yeah,
and have to get back to you on who that.
Yeah.
But we're going to be in touch anyway, man, because you got to send me my stuff.
I got you. Yeah, so after this, I'll text you, and then make sure we exchange information, and I get I get you your gear, man. I appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, listen, I want to promote y'all.
Yes,
that's
sir.
True. Of course, I want it for myself, but it's also a promotion for promoting y'all.
I appreciate it, man. That's love, man.
All right, man. I appreciate the love.
Hey, real quick before I go, this interview is going to be on my YouTube channel as well, so I'll save it and then I'll upload it to YouTube, and I'll send you the link so that you can share it, and it's going to be the interview is going to be out there forever.
Thank you, homie. I appreciate it.
Hey, bless you, Coach. God bless you. And, prayers to you. Oh, real quick, one last thing. Any shout-outs? Give some shout-outs to your people, anybody you want to give a shout-out to, man.
Like I said, I already wanted to shout out my family. My daughter's on here. My son is on here. My son-in-law is on here watching this. I want to give a shout-out to them. My one daughter, she probably didn't get the message.
No doubt.
But, like I said, it's a lot of people that helped Nate Blackwell. I want to shout out all my high school teammates. I can't go through names because it'd be too long. My Temple teammates, Tim Perry is my best friend in the world. Howard Evans is like a brother to me. We still very much in contact with each other every day. So I want to shout out them. Shout out all my Temple teammates and my family. Like I said, I've been blessed.
No doubt. Well, hey, thanks, Coach, man. Definitely gonna be in contact with you, man, to get you that gear. And Legends Week, Big Star signing out, man. Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, bro.
My man. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Everybody that tuned in tonight for Legends Week, man. It was crazy. It was classic. I want to answer a couple questions. Political asylum refugee asked, how do you get the gear? I have an online store, so after this interview, just kind of check it out. It definitely don't cost no money to browse. The online store is rawsportsapparel.com. Rawsportsapparel.com. The new, I actually have a new product that I'm going to be releasing probably tomorrow or Wednesday. Is these hoodies. Got the black classic Raw Sports hoodie and the black and then the gray hoodie as well. But on the website on the online store, I have Scully's, baseball caps, t-shirts, black, white, red, military green t-shirts. So if you want to support, support Big Star in the Raw Sports movement. I greatly would appreciate the donation. You grabbing some merchandise on the store. But this will definitely be back out. Snick SP 22nd, one of the best Legends Week interviews. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Trust me. I mean, I've been working hard on these interviews, man. Working hard to get y'all some good guests. To hear some classic stories, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. So Raw Sports Apparel is on rawsportsapparel.com. You get all your gear. And make sure y'all come back. Trust me. Listen, come back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. All these stories are legendary. All the guests are classic. That's why I scheduled. That's why we're here. Tomorrow's guest is going to be insane. Actually, I'm gonna post when I get done this, and I save this interview. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna put up a little poster in my story and on my page of tomorrow's guest. Make sure y'all come back at 8 o'clock tonight, whether you like hoops or not. Come back and check out tomorrow's guest. It's definitely going to be a classic. Bang 1818. Oh, solid. Yeah. They're going to be on the website. Got the black hoodie, got the gray hoodie, t-shirts of all flavors. You know what I'm saying? Please go to the store. Make sure I'll send you a DM bang 1818 to make sure we stay in contact. So I can make sure you get the release of these. And also, if you can, just go to the store tonight, rawsportsapparel.com, and just kind of browse, just kind of check it out. You'll definitely enjoy. Everybody, make sure y'all come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's guest is going to be crazy, and I got another guest, another hoop legend scheduled for Wednesday as well. So that's pretty much it, man. Big Star, from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, supporting the platform, supporting Legends Week, man. Glad y'all are enjoying the stories, man. And it's pretty much that. Everybody stay safe out there. You guys are in my prayers. God bless y'all, and y'all pray for me as well. All right, tune it out.
Family.